Hi, have you really thought about moving to Montana? Or maybe even moving to a different spot in Montana? Well, if you have, you're in the right spot, because this is the Montana Real Estate Channel, brought to you by the Siphers family. And we go around the state of Montana, talk with various agents that are involved with our Exit Realty Montana. And we talk about price points, lifestyle, culture, kind of what's happening in the market in real estate. And so we're going to speak today with a friend of ours. I'm Craig Siphers. I'm with Exit Realty Montana, located in Hamilton, Montana at Exit Realty South. And today we're talking with Lisa Slattery at Exit Realty Connect here in Laurel, Montana. Now, her office is in Laurel, brand new office, by the way, very beautiful. We had a whole group of people in last night. And we're here with Lisa. We're going to talk a little bit about her market area, which includes Billings and the greater Billings area. And so we're going to get right into it. Lisa, tell us a little bit about what areas that you serve.
We have a large area that we cover here. So I go all the way from Red Lodge, Laurel, Billings, and then also to Bridger, Fromberg, all the way down to Hardin, where I grew up and was raised. I have done a little bit in Hysham, and then quite a bit in Roundup, and then also Columbus. So it's a big circle that we do.
That is a lot.
It is. We ride a lot.
You know, you've probably seen our overview video, and we go through the various offices and locations where Exit has representation. And we talked about the fact that it's over 61,000 square miles, and a large part of that is what Lisa handled. So tell me, what's the great thing about living in this part of Montana?
So this part of Montana, we do have a ski mountain, Red Lodge, that we're attracted to. It's also a great place for hunting. So Eastern Montana has the plains, and so antelope and deer.
Right.
There's a lot of people that can use for hunting. And it's also less expensive over here than the other side of the state.
It is. And we'll get into some of the price points for sure. What's a bad thing about the general overall Billings market?
There was not enough inventory.
Oh, yeah. Well, that was one thing. We were out yesterday taking a look at the various subdivisions. In Billings particularly, West Billings, tremendous amount of growth. I was just really stunned by it.
There is a lot, and also in the Heights as well.
Okay.
A lot of homes going in up there too, which we need. There are so many people moving in from out of state still.
And so tell me a little bit about, of course, you guys, like everybody else, saw this huge influx of people during COVID. What are you seeing in the market now for yourself? Are you seeing much of a slowdown at all because of interest rates and price increases?
We haven't seen a slowdown here very much. We're still super busy, and it's also just from the people moving in from out of state, and they can afford this side of the state.
Yeah, it is much more affordable. The western part of the state.
In fact, people tell me we looked over on the western state, go eat.
Right. Hearing a lot of those two. Art, the Great Falls and Hiawatha Market has expressed that very thing. What do you find to be the most exciting things that are new right now that you're seeing in your marketplace?
So in Laurel here, there is a new truck stop that's going in on that first new exit that they put in coming from Livingston.
Yeah.
On the west side of Laurel.
And that's I-90.
Correct. And it just growth in general is just exciting.
Great. Mm-hmm. Well, we're going to take some time today. We're going to go out into the Laurel market specifically on this particular video and take a look at some of the neighborhoods and the price points. When Laurel was established, about when? Okay. Well, we're going to find out, and we're going to let you know. So thanks for being with us. If you're new to the channel, please be sure to hit that button and be notified whenever we come out with a new video. And we appreciate you. Please like and share. And let's go out and take a look at some real estate in Laurel.
Laurel is a bedroom community of Billings, which is roughly 15 miles away to the east, and we're traveling on what effectively is a frontage road just off Interstate 90 near the Scenic Harvest States Refinery in Laurel. Here we have hotels, fast foods, a CVS pharmacy, and a variety of businesses you might not otherwise find in similarly populated towns in Montana due to its proximity to Billings, I-90, and the refinery. So we'll head into Laurel itself and then head out to see some rural property to start our tour. And Laurel is a railroad town like so many in Montana, and we'll talk more about that as we go in a bit. So we're headed under an underpass, and thank goodness we don't have to wait for the train. We just pass underneath. And this pickup was, I think, maybe in the witness protection program, and he might have been a smidge worried because here we are with a camera following him through the streets of Laurel. I don't know if he got nervous. He didn't seem to be, but it seemed a little odd that we were hot on his trail, as it were, and followed him right around through town. But somehow along the way, I think he was able to ditch us, and I don't know if it was on purpose or not. This is First Avenue. We're headed north out of Laurel, and as we go along here, we've got obviously some residential, and this actually goes up towards the Laurel High School, and the Laurel High School mascot is the locomotives, so that gives you a sense of how much the railroad has influenced the area and what people are doing. Now this is the swimming pool here. You see the football field. The Laurel High School has a student enrollment of 619 students in grades 9 through 12 with a 15-to-1 student-teacher ratio. And if you want to know more about Laurel High School and how it stacks up against other Montana high schools, you can check our link in the description below to niche.com. First Avenue here is a major thoroughfare, and you can see some multifamily and apartment buildings. This is SCL Medical Health Group, which is part of Intermountain Health. It's a Utah-based medical provider in several states. And we've got a variety of single-family homes that have been here since the 60s or so, and we're going to drive out this way to the north end of Laurel and to the rural area and take a look at some of the real estate out here and the landscape. Now this is higher up. It is grassland scattered with sagebrush, and you can see some fallow fields out here for crops and get irrigation. And now we're going to pick up the speed because we want to get to where we're going, and Erica's driving right now, so hang on to your hats. Here we go. Watch that corner. Oh, there's got some serious speed going on. Hope we don't flip this thing. Once she gets the opportunity, she's going to light her up here. Get a straightaway, and I'll listen to that engine roar. She's really quite the driver. Bless you. Now we're headed out to a little development. A lot of this is agricultural ground, obviously. You're going to see some development. This is going to be about 7 miles out of town. We're going to talk a little bit about what size properties and how much acreage you might expect. I hope you're enjoying the video so far on Laurel Montana Real Estate, Montana Real Estate channel. Leave a comment down below and tell us what you think of Erica's driving. We'd like to get a feel for what your thoughts are. Some of the property we drove through were full sections, or 640 acres, and we arrive out here on Clapper Flat Road, and there's a subdivision out here where the parcel's they're all about 20 acres. The homes vary in size from about 1,700 square feet, 3-bed, 2-bath homes that have assessed values around $400,000. But one has to remember that it does not necessarily reflect the actual market value. In fact, market value in Montana can actually be at least 50% more than the assessed value. The state assesses property values for tax purposes every 2 years. And since property values have gone up so dramatically over the last few years, the state can be a little bit behind, and property owners can be a little bit grateful for that. The taxes in the last few years have become pretty controversial due to the enormous appreciation that we've seen. A home can sell out here in this area. Well, earlier this year, there was one that sat on just under 20 acres. It was listed as being 5,746 square feet, 3 bed, 3 bath, and it sold for $915,000. Now we're on a fast track to get back to Laurel. Oh, geez, Erica, I think you better slow down. I think we're coming into the little town and city of Laurel. Oh, good. Thank you. I appreciate it. Now, Laurel is in the Yellowstone County and is the third largest community in the Billings metropolitan statistical area. And it's located in the vast and sprawling Yellowstone Valley, which has been carved over millions of years by the Yellowstone River. And it's the east-west terminal division point for Burlington Northern Santa Fe Railroad. The population as of the 2020 census was 7,222 people, and it sits at an elevation of 3,300 feet. Now, before it became a community, people would pass through this area on their way to search for gold in the west, and many came by team and wagon, or they came by steamship up the Yellowstone River. But it wasn't until after the Custer Massacre in 1876 that the white man felt safe in the Yellowstone Valley. And then the settlers began to make their homes here in about 1879. Then the railroad, pushed up closer to Laurel from the east, and at about 1882, it reached Laurel. And with the advent of the railroad, Laurel grew and was originally known as the Station of Carlton. But in 1883, the name was changed to Laurel for a local shrub. And the post office that we just passed earlier was established in 1886, and the town was incorporated in August of 1908. And we just passed the city hall right here and the council chambers there. And so we're traveling down First Street, and we'll just take a moment. Here's our fire department. Right next to that is the Laurel Safety Headquarters. And these units are townhomes or condos that I couldn't find any data on them, but there's a similar structure in town that was very new and was 1,380 square feet. It was a 3-bed, 2-bath unit that sold for $289,000. Now, in the Laurel Heights subdivision, which this is, there are some really small lots and small homes. The homes can range from 700 square feet to just over 1,000 square feet, and were built from around 1910 into the 1930s. So this is kind of the first part of Laurel. It was, as I mentioned earlier, the Laurel Heights addition or subdivision, and there's a Yellowstone Bank branch there. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to travel southwest of the city of Laurel. It's going to go through some country here, and you're going to see some rural property. We've got some fields out here, and this is very similar to what we've seen over in Billings, where you've got these agricultural fields, and then all of a sudden a subdivision pops up out in the middle of nowhere. And in this particular case, we are going to travel to what's known as the Driftwood subdivision. And so we'll just travel through the Driftwood subdivision here and see what the homes look like, kind of talk about some details and the price points. Out here in the country. Now, these homes were built on 1+ acre lots. Some are 3-bed, 2-bath. Some of them are up to 4-bedroom, 3-bath homes. So they're a little bit bigger. You can see some of them are single level. Some have several stories, or 2-story, story and a half. A lot of them have some outbuildings with them. A home recently sold in here for $547,000. It was a 3-bed, 2-bath home with 1,914 square feet on just over an acre, and these homes were built around 2013. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go back through town and head up to the northeast to the Pheasant Brook subdivision. And you can see the railroad yards off to the right there. Now this, the BNSF Laurel yard there, the rail yard that you see off to the right, is the largest rail yard between St. Paul, Minnesota and Pasco, Washington. And you're seeing a little bit of the business district there on the other side of the tracks. Interstate 90 is just on even the right of the railroad there, and there's a business district in there. Laurel also is the home to the Scenic Harvest States oil refinery that we mentioned earlier. And because of that, that's why you see on the sightings here, you'll see some tanker cars that are part of what they have called unit trains, much of it coming from the Williston Basin, of course the Bakken oil fields out there. There are actually 23 zones that they get oil from, and getting a little more active. So this is the Pheasant Brook subdivision, where lots again are 1+ acres, and they get up to 6+ acres. And homes range in size from 1,500 square feet on the main floor with finished basements, featuring 4 bedrooms, 3.5 baths, some single-level homes around 2,400 square feet. The larger homes are over 4,000 square feet in this subdivision, and recently a 3,112 square foot home, which was a 5-bedroom, 3-bath home, sold for $660,078. I don't know how they came up with the $78, but that was a very specific amount. So again, these are subdivisions in Laurel that have just popped up. They're rural in nature. They'll have wells and septic, and you can catch one of our videos on new construction that kind of goes through the process of building, if that's something that you would want to do. We'd love to be a resource for you. We really would love to have you subscribe by tapping that logo down there on the right-hand side of your screen, and be notified whenever we come out with a new video on communities and real estate in Montana. My family, the Siphers family, has been helping folks like yourself since 1966, so we think we know what we're doing, and our clients have been pretty darn happy. So again, this is the Pheasant Brook subdivision. Well, we love going out and discovering these communities in Montana, and hopefully you enjoy this content as well. If you do, please subscribe, as I mentioned earlier, and share this with your friends and family if they're curious about real estate in the state of Montana. And if you have a particular community that you'd like to have us do a video on, please leave us a comment and let us know. We are enjoying very much what we do, and we're way out here in Billings, but remember, we have offices all over the state, and of course this particular area is handled with Lisa that we met at the first of our video. So we're going to go out here north and northeast of town, travel out in the kind of the area that has got some more rural properties, acreage, some of them on 3-acre parcels built in the 1990s, up to homes on nearly 20 acres that were built in the early 2000s, and that are over 1,500 square feet. They're single level homes. And this is all out near the Laurel Airport, which has 2 paved runways The primary runway is 5,200 feet. The crosswind runway is 3,000 feet. And there's an 1,100 foot turf runway. And so we're going to leave you now with another little tour down one of the main thoroughfares there in Laurel, Montana. We hope you've enjoyed this video. Look for other videos across Montana, and please give us a comment. Tell us if you like what we're doing here. It's important to us and makes our channel stronger. And remember, Exit Montana has offices all over the state of Montana, and Exit has a network across the United States. So if you're selling in some other state, give us a call. We can help you sell your home there and transition into Montana. Well, we sure thank you for your attention today. Look for us on our next video on the Montana Real Estate Channel.